Good morning. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm trying to find like the perfect position here. There we go. That'll do for now. Oh, there we go. How's it going, Hex? How you doing today? How's your project coming along? Did you manage to complete it? I know you had a pretty jam-packed schedule. Nice. Hair is always kind of, for me, it was always kind of one of the tricky areas. Hair looks like a banana. Banana. Even I don't have hair like 100% down just yet, but it is one of those things. Hey, how's it going, Max? I feel like hair is definitely a trial and error. Speaking of hair, that's what I'm working on today. Funny enough. Has anyone been playing the new Marvel Rivals? It's been out for like 10 days now. Nice. I've been playing it too. Nice to use. I like a good Venom player. I love a good Venom player on my team. I mostly play Penny, Penny, Luna, Mantis, and Cloak and Dagger. I don't really have a DPS of choice, you know? Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, I'm taking a short break because I'm definitely gonna be playing once I get done. Once I get done here for tonight, you know? I know you just finished your Squirrel Girl not long ago. Are you still working on her? Like, I know you're like done with her, but I know you're splitting her right now. Yours are Magic and Psylocke. I wanted to be a Psylocke player. I really did. But I'm just ass. I walked in, wanted to be like a Psylocke main, and I ended up becoming a Penny main. The tool for like, I use the bend curve. You can find it under the gizmo. You just select the bend curve and then you'll find it there. Yep, not a problem. It makes hair moving a lot easier. Oops. And then when you're done, you just hit accept and then boom, you got yourself a nice little hair. It's tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's a little easier. Just start off with like 2 points. You can use the little cone here, the yellow cone, to increase the amount of points that you want. I typically get it around like, you know, 3 or sometimes 4. It really just depends, but I just start off with like just 2 at first and try to get it in a position because it kind of twists and turns. And I don't like that it does that sometimes. I know you can hold like shift or something to keep it from twisting, but then it like puts the dot all the way up in like Narnia instead of being aligned with the object. But you can also just retwist it with the yellow cone on the whatchamacallit, on the point. But they only twist so far. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to become a little addicted to Marvel Rivals, I'm not gonna lie. It just reminds me of the good old days. So I used to play Overwatch like all the time. And then I stopped playing around the time that they did the Mercy rework. So at the time I mostly played Diva and Mercy. And Zyra. Diva, Mercy, and Zyra were like my main 3. And then they did the Mercy rework, and I kind of stopped playing around that time. And then I just really just stopped playing. I haven't played it since. And then I tried Overwatch 2 when they made that big announcement and stuff like that. And I just wasn't really feeling it anymore. The train was already set, was already gone. It left the station. I feel like, yeah, I did. Got. But it is what it is. Anyone that plays, you're more than welcome to add me on Marvel Rivals. You see me on, feel free to shoot an invite if I'm not going crazy. I'll post it in a I think it's case sensitive. That should be it. I'm always down to play with another with a Venom player. That means I can get my bonus. Hell yeah. I just want you for the bonus. Oh, hello. I personally feel like if I ever was forced to DPS, which is very rare, everyone's rushing to DPS these days, I'd probably lock in Hella, to be honest, because she is really good. And I feel like she's really DPS friendly because she's hit scan. So all you have to do is you don't have to like worry about your fall off or anything like that. You just make sure your reticle is on her, on whoever you're shooting, and boom, it's a hit, you know? We like hit scan. Penny's not hit scan, she's projectile, but I do fuck with hit scan, and I think that's why Hella is so good in my opinion anyways, because she is hit scan. She has a self peel, everything. Yeah, imagine not leading your shots. Luna is kind of hit scan whenever you hit her shift ability and she does the clap. It becomes a hit scan and a Pearson attack. I like Cloak and Dagger, but I like that notification that you get whenever you get a whatchamacallit, the headshot, which you don't get with Cloak and Dagger. Yeah. What I do whenever I play Luna is if I know they're going to be jumping all over the place, I put my E on them and then I just heal someone else or heal a tank or something like that, and they're getting a passive heal from that. Because I'm sorry, I'm not going to be trying to shoot a Spider-Man that's jumping in the sky asking for heals. DPS need to learn where the whatchamacallit are too, the health packs are, especially if you're going to be in the far back line of the enemy team. Yeah, Iron Fists are just as bad. Yeah, every time I see Iron Fist begging for healing, I think of the same thing. The old Genji days. I need healing. I think I should. Yeah, I put a little too. You know, as a healer, you have every right to make people beg for it. Tell them to bark. You want heals? Bark for me. The old Mercy clips and stuff, where they got in the Valorant clips where they got people like barking for heals or singing for heals. So you want heals? Sing for me. Don't be like that in a ranked match. Norms? Sure. Don't do that in rank, please. Heroes of the Storm. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a while. I used to play Heroes of the Storm back when they first were adding like Overwatch characters. That's what really got me into playing it at the time, because I was big into Overwatch. And then they were like, we're shutting down the Heroes of the Storm server, so I stopped playing. And here we are years later, and it turns out Heroes of the Storm never got shut down. Like, it's still going. And at this point, it's too late. I've already lost interest in it. Yeah, people gotta understand that as a healer, they are at your mercy. You're the one that's keeping them alive in this. Without you, that pretty little KDA that they have would be horrible. And you sometimes just gotta remind them, you know? Stop all support. Gotcha. I guess I just misread it. Cause I saw like shutting down, and I was like, oh, it's over. It's Jover. And then I just left, and I went back to playing League. Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. But it was a good getaway, you know? I just needed to get away from League. Every time I try to get away with League, I always come crawling back. But this time, it's actually, I actually feel like I might be able to get away from League. Because this weekend, I only played 2 games of League this weekend. In the past 4 days, I've only played 2 games of League. Thank you. Why? Because I've been playing Marvel Rivals. I think I might actually be free. I might be free, y'all. I'm kind of like, whenever it comes to Marvel Rivals, I'm kind of stuck in a you're 2 years clean. I remember when I was 2 years clean of League. You know what happened? I came back stronger than ever, and that was 4 years ago. I relapsed. You will too one day. It's inevitable. There's no such thing as staying clean forever. And then you'll start making excuses on why you have to play, like I did. Yeah, exactly. If you can't do it socially, then you have a problem. Like that one guy that that's what's his name? I keep seeing videos about him. He was like drug addicts are just weak, and that he's been giving himself meth in order to prove that that anyone can break an addiction. I know he's just memeing. That I doubt that he's literally giving himself meth to prove that type of point. But that's how League is. Oh boy, do I have things to tell you. I don't think they're releasing a Lilia skin anytime soon. I actually have I'm like done with, I'm not like 100% done with League, but I am kind of getting tired of it, mainly because of their monetization practices that's been going on lately. And now they added gacha mechanics to the game, like even worse gacha mechanics, $250 skins that you have a chance of pulling with like a 0.1% drop rate or something, and they have like a pity system now too. It's like, bro, just make a gacha game if you really want to make money like this. When they started making skins extremely high priced and they started throwing FOMO in it, I started to kind of lose interest, because I like skins, but I don't like the whole high price FOMO of skins. They kind of pissed me off when they did the RE skin, the $500 RE skin, because I like playing RE. So that was a skin that I missed out on, because I'm not dropping $500 on a skin. And then they're like, oh, it's never coming back. Yeah. I also think that Blizzard's downfall was when they decided that they were going to be like, oh, we're going to do this whole cool like PvE experience in Overwatch 2. You guys are going to love it. You can't wait to see it. Like, they're really hyping up this whole PvE experience and stuff. And then Overwatch 2 comes out. They're like, oh, it's going to be a minute. We're still working on it. And then months, maybe years later, they are like, yeah, we're just gonna can it entirely. There's no PvE mode. We're not working on it anymore. But hey, Overwatch 2, you know? And that's when they really started to piss people off and started dropping and losing people. 2xKO, yeah. We'll see. I feel like we might get lucky on 2xk. The thing is with 2xko, I don't really care too much for skins in a fighting game, you know? So hopefully they don't really go too ham on that, you know? Yeah, I feel like they never went into production on that single player mode. I think it was just a excuse to make people shell out money to get the game. Because they were in need of monies again. That is true. I'll be just, if I was playing 2xko like that, I'd probably be the same way, where I'm like, I don't need a skin, and then they release a skin that I really like, and I'm just like, I need it, you know? And then you're over here sweating profusely for a skin. But if I can hold out on a $500 Ari skin, I think I can hold out on anything. I think I have the strength. I'm actually fighting the urge to not get the Venom penny skin in the game, because it really reminds me of Evangelion, that one. And I really love Evangelion. There's a way that I can get it. I can either get PlayStation Plus and get the whole pack for free. I don't know how much PlayStation Plus costs. I don't want to turn on my PlayStation to do PlayStation Plus. Oh, you did Cammy? When did you do Cammy? I don't remember seeing that one. Links are available in my my chat. The bot won't attack you for dropping a link. Hell yeah. I actually wanted to do a Cammy years ago when Street Fighter 6 first came out, and Cammy was kind of like the big thing going on at that time. The whole Cammy pose, the stretch. I wanted to sculpt Cammy. But that was I felt like I was lacking in a lot of departments at that time. I could probably do it now if I wanted to. I feel like I have the confidence to do it now, you know? But back then, definitely not. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. We fucks with it. $80 a year for PlayStation? Nah, I think I'll just spend the $10 on getting the whatchamacallit skin if I was to get it. We fucks with that. Add a little bit of your own twist to it. With a twist. And how's it going, Noir? How have you been? Yeah, it has. Do you still stream? 'Cause I haven't seen you really go live as of late. I've actually, speaking of fan sculpts and stuff like that, I've actually been kind of leaning towards doing my own thing every now and then, you know. Not just a one-for-one sculpt of characters and stuff like that, but making up my own thing and doing characters that I like too. It's been nice. This is one of my first like OC characters that I'm working on right now. I'm just making it up as I go. Oh, there we go. Just making it up as we go. Ah, gotcha. I have a backlog of games too that I need to play. And then I'm over here playing Marvel Rivals and stuff. I always say, man, I really got a backlog of games I need to play. Loads up Marvel Rivals or League of Legends. Will he ever get through his backlog of games? Probably not. I was doing so good last week too, because I was playing Metaphor Refantasia, and I was going through it. I finished the first dungeon, and I was like, all right, we're doing things. And then Marvel Rivals dropped, and my friends are like, hey, let's play Marvel Rivals, and then I started playing Marvel Rivals. I was doing so good too. That's on my my to play list. Yeah, I barely need convincing, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of folded pretty quick. They really twisted my arm on that one. I put up a fight. I swear I did. At least I thought I did. But it was, hey, you want to play Marvel Rivals? And I was like, I already have it installed. Bet. I was waiting for the day that everyone wanted to play Marvel Rivals. The game was already installed and ready to go. I just didn't want to play by myself. Proceeds to play by itself. The Peppa Pig game, was that on PlayStation Plus for free? Peppa the Pig. That's another name I haven't heard in a while. Or am I misunderstanding that? So I know there's a Peppa the Pig game, but I might be like totally misreading everything. I can already say after I'm done with stream and working today, I'm definitely gonna be putting in some hours on on Marvel Rivals. Not gonna lie, probably like around 6 p.m. my time, CST, 6 p.m. CST. Ah, yes, competitive games, the friend destroyer. When I'm playing healer, I just say it, and I just say it like, if you want heals, come to the point. I'm not gonna rush to the back line to try to heal you and then die in the process. Like, what do I look like? I'm actually on the objective, securing it. Maybe you should try being here too, you know? Because that's the point of the game, is securing objectives. Hell yeah. Even when I'm playing like when I'm playing tank, if I'm Penny, which I'm like 90% of the time is, and if we're pushing like pushing the whatchamacallit, the cart or whatever, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll be on it. Like, I'll be like literally standing near it, placing my nest around that area, and then moving my nest slowly up as the point progresses through, while everyone else is like running all the way up in the front doing God knows what. And I'm just like, hey, we need to get on the point. Yeah. And people need to understand that, like, you can push the enemy into their spawn point, but that's the problem. You push them into their spawn point, they're gonna keep reviving. They can shoot from inside there and get the kill and then push forward from there. So you want to leave like space, like push them back, but also come back yourself, because if you die, you have a further distance to travel between the spawn point and the objective point, and you're effectively just throwing at that point. Like, you could push. I think the only people that really should be pushing for it like that is like, if there's a Venom or a Thor, yeah, be in the back, disrupt the shit out of them, you know. But as a Penny, I have to be like the well, she's technically like an anchor tank or anything, just to lock down a position. And I'm anti-Jeff. Like, if you're a healer and you hate being attacked in the back line and stuff like that, stand next to your friendly Penny, because they have to touch the ground eventually. And what's on the ground? Spider webs. And what's in those webs? Mines. It's a minefield. And I'll be more likely to help them help get the DPS off of you if you're standing near Penny. I have an anti-Jeff field too, because of the if Jeff like ults the point and there's a Penny on the point, he's just eating a bunch of mines and then he dies instantly. So Jeff can't eat me. He can eat everyone else, but if you're standing near Penny, you're not getting eaten. I recently found out that a Jeff can eat another Jeff and spit your teammates out like that. So if you're Jeff, if enemy Jeff eats your teammates and you're Jeff and you're still alive, you can eat that Jeff, spit out your teammates, and then kill the Jeff that way too. I saw a clip of it recently and I was like, man, I didn't know Jeff can do that. That's crazy. There are a lot of counters to Jeff. A lot of it's timing. Like Cloak and Dagger can also counter Jeff too. But the thing with Cloak and Dagger is you need you have to stop attacking. If you're inside of Cloak and Dagger's shroud, think of it like a Senna shroud. If you attack, you become unshrouded, so you're not safe anymore. So you pretty much got to stop attacking when you're inside the shroud, and that'll protect you from a Jeff ult. Oh yeah, Jeff also doesn't get headshots apparently. But you can't headshot Jeff. Only body shots. I wish Penny could get headshots. She also is another one of those champs that her auto attacks don't do headshot damage. It's just a flat 30 across the board, no matter where you shoot them. You gotta like toss mines and whatchamacallit in, because the mines are like 100, the nanos are 40 each, and then the web is just a straight 5, which doesn't really matter too much, but it's up like every 3 seconds, so you can keep stunning people with it. Usually want to throw out a net and then throw out a mine. So, well, throw a mine, then throw a net, and then the mine will go off and do the damage that way too. Or just toss mines randomly while you're in a shootout with someone. They'll step on them eventually. Yeah, Mantis is also really, really good. Key to Mantis is literally just make sure you keep your buff on yourself like all the time. Just hit F and keep that up. I feel like I switch to Mantis whenever I'm healing. I switch to Mantis when I feel like our DPS is shit, and not like the DPS as in the people playing the DPS, but our damage is like shit and we're not getting any kills. I'll switch to Mantis so I can give everyone a buff, and then they can actually kind of secure the kills that way. Like if I'm looking at the board and we're like 0 and 5 or something like that, and our damage is lacking and the enemy team is just steamrolling us, I'm like, okay, I need to switch to Mantis and buff everyone, increase their damage, and then maybe they can actually start getting kills, hopefully. Because either they're so then they can just miss more shots because their aim is probably horrible. Speaking of aim, if you play on PC, there's a thing, mouse acceleration, that's auto on. You can turn that off by adding a script to your file, which isn't hacking or anything like that. You won't get banned for doing it. It's a config file. Definitely Google into that so that way you can turn off mouse acceleration and you won't be missing as many shots. It's not, they don't consider it cheating. It's not. I've done some research into it. It's not bannable. The only people that are crying about it being banned, they're saying it's bannable, are the people that are like console players, and it doesn't really matter because in ranked mode you don't play with console players. Console play with console and PC plays with PC. The only time it's mixed is whenever you're doing whatchamacallit, norms. Whenever you're doing norms is whenever it's mixed. I changed a lot of my settings. Now the game runs a lot smoother for me. Hardware acceleration, well, mouse acceleration. It's a thing that's been auto-enabled into the game and you can't turn it off. It's technically supposed to help you. The mouse acceleration is there to kind of help you. It's sort of like a, you know, whenever you play controller and you have like that aimbot, the sort of that helps you land your hits and stuff like that. It kind of did the same with the mouse acceleration in there, but it can become really annoying really fast, especially when you flicking, when you're trying to do them flicks. So you just kind of turn that off, but you have to go into like the game config file and change it there if you want it to work properly. Usually in a lot of shooter games, whenever you go into like your computer settings, because Microsoft has like a mouse acceleration thing in there too that you usually turn off if you play any shooters, and that's also one of those things that they have like enabled. And how's it going, Peachy? Alrighty. I'll look in a bit. Oh, nice. It's coming along nicely. See where the hair can definitely get tricky with him for sure. I think once you start doing the oh, did you? No, that's still in I was like, did you bring it back into Blender? It looks like it's still in ZBrush. You just have the floor visible. I think once you use the tool that I was talking about earlier, it'll definitely make the hair a lot easier. The one that I use anyway. feel like let me see something. Sometimes when you have like that block out, it kind of messes with things, but once I delete it, I can kind of get a better visualization of how the hair is looking. The tool that you asked about earlier, just think you'll be able to get that wrap around to the back a little bit easier if you're not going to sculpt out the complete if you're not going for like the sculpt stylized look. So I know there's some people that like they throw in their sphere and then they start sculpting out the hair and stuff like that way too, and then there's the ones that pull out the strands, sort of like what I do, and then add a little bit more detail to that. There's like so many different ways to do hair, to be honest. It just depends on what method you want to go for. I think I kind of want to, yeah. Mental boomed. What does that name? I was like, why does that name sound familiar? I got you. Squad 0. I need to do another bleach sculpt. It's been forever since I did a bleach sculpt. My last two, I do want to remake those eventually, but I did Mayuri Kurisuchi and Yorichi. I kind of want to redo those. So Mayuri was like 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm not entirely happy with it, to be honest. It's very stiff pose because I didn't really know how to pose anything at the time, so it's still like an A pose. And there's just so much that I've learned since then. I do want to revisit Mayuri one day. There's a couple of Bleach characters that I would love to do one day. I have a backlog of characters. I feel like my game backlog, at least with my character backlog, it has a higher chance of being completed than my game backlog. I know Gaz was talking about this a while back yesterday. Streaming definitely for me, it's made me more what's that word, productive. I was gonna say progressive for some reason, but it made me more productive on my sculpts. I don't get distracted as easily, you know, and it just helps me get things done a little bit more. Yeah. If I do lose it, I think it'll be very helpful in a way. So I'll probably be able to get more done because it'll be like in your boat where it's like I need to do this to get stuff done. And in my case, it was to get stuff done and to actually get better at sculpting, because it kind of forces me to sit down and like learn the things and work on the things, compared to just watching a bunch of sculpting videos and stuff like that all day. And I feel like once you hit that point where it's like, ah, shit, I'm getting distracted easily, by then I'll probably have like all the skills and the ability to get the stuff done in a sit-in without being what's that word, demotivated. So I definitely, starting off, had like a lot of lack of motivation because I just didn't feel like I was good enough at the time. But in order to become better, I actually needed to actually, you know, sit down and do this stuff, which I wasn't doing, you know, because it would be like, I hate how I make my heads, and then start redoing it over and over again to try to make heads the way that I like it. And then I just ended up giving up. And then sitting down to stream has made me just work on it, you know? Yeah, that's fair. That is also true. I think I might be able to find that balance though, where I could just work and talk at the same time and won't get too distracted, you know? Hopefully. So I won't lie. Streaming definitely does have its difficulties when you're doing art too, because you're interacting and talking and stuff like that. So sometimes you just end up going on tangents without getting anything done, and you're like, oh shit, what did I do? Nothing. I did absolutely nothing. So I kind of force myself to keep working while I'm ranting. You have it added. Yours is a lot added though. Yeah, it's because you got chat, you got Discord, and you got your work. Oh, add. It'll be done in like 14 seconds. Yeah, I feel that. I'd be like doing, after I end stream sometimes, I'll be sitting here like going through my model, and I'll be turning around and shit, and I'll be like, man, I don't like that, and then I'll end up deleting stuff and making fixes and changes off stream because it looked cool while I was on stream and thinking about it, but then I ended up like changing a lot of things off stream. Feels like it's a different thought process whenever you're offline compared to online, you know? All right. I don't think I don't need this anymore, so I'll delete this. The front is good. I'll work on this side. I think the only time when I was really productive off stream though was when I was initially doing the tutorial, the Danny Sculpt, the Danny Mac tutorial. He has this really nice Blender tutorial, which is on how to make heads. And this was back when I was using Blender a little bit more. The process transfers over really well towards ZBrush. I feel like it all transfers really well. But he had a tutorial on how to sculpt stylized heads. It was like the Pixar style heads. And so I tried so many different methods on how to sculpt a head, and I just never really stuck, but his definitely did. And it was like only 8 parts, and I think it's well worth the money for anyone that's trying to figure it out and having issues. I felt like it was way worth the money because he kept adding stuff to it. I think he still adds stuff to it, but at the time it was like $30 for like eight different videos, each one about an hour long ish. But he added more stuff to it, like the torso, and basically just ended up becoming a full like the tutorial went from making a stylized head to making a bust, and then it got into like retopologizing and textures and a bunch of other stuff, and it was like, and it's just a bunch of add-on for free that he kept just adding to it, and it was like, you'd be crazy not to get it. It's well worth the money, and a lot of the stuff was well executed in the video. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Even if you're not in Blender and you're having that trouble, I felt like it's definitely helped me a lot. And then I kind of just started mixing, matching, and doing my own thing to when I figured out what I like the most. Sound like Gumroad. When are you dropping a tutorial, Gaz? Speaking of, the other day when I was playing Marvel Rivals, if you look at Penny, her the way that her head is like sculpted and stuff like that, it reminds me of your art style. You didn't secretly work on Marvel Rivals, did you? I feel like you're good enough. I feel like you're at that point where you could definitely drop. Even I have tutorials, and I'm nowhere near as good as you on YouTube. I have like quick like speed sculpt tutorials. If I got some out there, you can definitely get some out there. You're doing this as a full-time like job and everything like that too. Got more authority over the art 3D space than I do at the moment. You got more weight to the tutorial. When I say that, I mean like your portfolio is a lot thicker than mine and has way more mileage than mine with your the whole business and everything like that you got going too. So I feel like people would be more inclined to listen to your tutorial because you have the back end too. also feel like a lot of people are probably waiting for it. The Gas Minis tutorial. Do what I do. Multi-stream. Like I have my OBS set up to stream on both Twitch and YouTube. And the thing is, this day and age, you have to be crazy not to multi-stream because contract's not a thing. See, you're good. Even if it's not going anywhere, I still multi-stream. And I feel like, honestly, my offline VODs and everything like that do way better than my lives on Twitch. Like I've noticed ever since I started multi-streaming on YouTube, my subscriber count and follow count has gone up a lot over the past couple months. Because this year I started at like 180, 180 subscribers on YouTube, and now I'm sitting at 273. And it's like slowly going up compared to my Twitch, which has always been going up and down between the 2050 and 2049. Like I think it was like at 2030 at one point. Now it's like at 2050, but it just goes up and down from 2049 to 2050. Because a lot of my followers are from like whenever I was doing my gaming streams and stuff like that, and when I did Jackbox for like a year, and then I switched to art. So I had like a huge fall off. And definitely a lot of it was from the Mr. Beast thing. I think I put it down in the description, down in my description down below. So I was doing, it was like 2019. Oh, no. This was back in 2019 before the controversy. I was doing, I was playing Jackbox and I was doing card openings. That was back when Pokemon cards were big too. Like everyone and their mother was doing pack openings on streams. And I was doing pack openings on streams while playing Jackbox and stuff like that. And he came in and donated. And I was like in one of his videos. So I kind of got like a lot of followers from that. And then I got tired of Jackbox. And I stopped playing. I just felt like Jackbox was definitely not the age demographic that I wanted to be part of. Because it got pretty tiring pretty fast. I can only take so many Yo Mama jokes before I'm just burned out, you know? And that was like 6 months. Oh. I'm tired, coach. Yeah, I didn't even believe it at first myself. I saw my reaction was so, I thought I was being like it was like some prank. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't touch it for like the longest of time until that video dropped, because it was like, what if this isn't real and it's one of those things, the horror stories of people getting PayPal donations, and then it gets you know how it is, chargebacks and stuff like that on PayPal. I'd be fucked. So I just left it alone. How's it going, Keith Curry? I've been doing it like consistently for a year now, but 3D in itself I got into around 2021, on and off, where I'll do like maybe 1 or 2 models a year. But for the past year I've been doing it consistently, like actually sitting down and doing it on a daily basis, or at least 4 times a week. If you want a professional opinions on stuff, yeah, you just got to get really consistent. I think that's honestly all it is, really, is consistency and study. Like, just watching videos isn't gonna help you, and it's never really helped me either. Watching videos and following tutorials step by step, I found, have not helped me at all on getting better as an artist. You actually gotta get your hands in there and get dirty. Do a tutorial to like learn the basics of things, but then when you actually got the basics down, just start doing your own thing. It doesn't matter how it looks, just finish it and then move on to the next one and improve for each iteration, you know? Sit down, do like a, go back, look at your sculpts and be like, I don't like how I did the eyes or the face on this one, you know? And then take what you learned from the last one and apply it to the next one. And if you get stuck, like if I'm like, man, how do I make hair or something like that, or how do I do this or that, then I look up a video on that. But other than that, I kind of just do my own thing. And then just go from there, you know? I think the biggest thing is just finishing something, because that was my, thanks for follow. That was my biggest issue, is I wasn't finishing stuff. Because I would start a sculpt and then I wouldn't like how it looked. I'll delete it and then I'll try again and I'll keep deleting it, and I was never finishing anything. So I was never getting better, you know? And then the imposter syndrome starts creeping in and you start losing motivation. Don't compare yourself to other people. Learn from other people, stuff like that. That's really all it is. Just gotta keep yourself motivated through it. You'll get better eventually, you know? I didn't start doing art until I'm 33 right now, and I didn't start getting into art until I was like 27. And before then, I couldn't even draw. I still can't draw, but I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't make a stick figure. I didn't know anything about art other than when I was a kid. So I was like in that boat where it's like, man, is it too late to learn how to do art? It's never too late. I'd recommend the Anatomy for Sculptors book. It's really, really good. You can get that on like Amazon and stuff like that. You can just find it anywhere. And follow a bunch of other other 3D artists and stuff like that. Like, if you really want to learn about anatomy and stuff like that, I definitely recommend Gaz too, because his anatomy is like peak. Him, Forge, Merc Forge, Jan Sculpts, Danny Mac, stuff like that. They're definitely good to watch. and they have a better understanding of things than I do, for sure. They're the ones that I watch whenever I'm like trying to figure out how to do things. I've learned a lot from watching them on streams and picking their brains about stuff. I think Merc is actually live right now too. Yeah, he's actually live right now too. Yeah, definitely follow a bunch of other 3D artists on YouTube. It's a tight-knit community. Everyone's really cool, really nice. Don't be afraid to say hi whenever you're in their chats. Everyone that does 3D and ZBrush and Blender, from my experience so far, have been really nice and welcoming. 10 out of 10, recommend. Great peeps. There's Gaz. Definitely give Gaz a follow. Especially if you're trying to work on like anatomy and want to make like actual print. If you're trying to get like printables too, Gaz is the person for that. Because he actually makes things to print. A lot of other people, they make stuff for like just for visual purposes. But Gaz and Rushzilla and can't remember who else, they actually print theirs if you're trying to get some prints in. Oh yeah, I think that's really nice too about the whole art community, is self promo is not like taboo or anything like that. A lot of the artists here know that like 90% of us are streamers too, and we all do art. We're all starving artists trying to get our stuff out there, you know, and we all support each other, which is really nice. And you don't get that in the gaming side of things. Like from someone that started out streaming on the gaming side, it was like 100% taboo to mention that you streamed or anything. The only way you can mention that you streamed was through like just from a raid. Like if you raided that person, then it's like, oh, they stream, you know, and then you can be like, then you can kind of self promote yourself when they ask and everything like that. But in the art community, it's like everyone's extremely nice. They're like, let me see what you're working on. Yep, exactly. It's a different community on the art side. I don't know how it is for the 2D art though. I just know in the 3D artists, there's not that many of us out there that stream on Twitch. So everyone's like really nice and really cool with each other. Hey, you're gonna start streaming too? And I think we always try to get each other to stream too. I've noticed. You're like, hey, you streaming? You gonna start streaming? You should stream. That's like 90. Well, I wouldn't say 90, but that's a high percentage of 3D artists on here. This is one of the questions is, what are you working on, and do you stream, and why don't you stream? Gotcha. The keycaps. You know, that'd be really cool to see. At first, when you mentioned keys, I was thinking of like keys for splitting, models and stuff like that. I think I have. Where is mine? I made my own, but they're out here somewhere. They're floating around somewhere. This is why you should kind of learn your brush quick item, but I don't really use it as much. So it's, oh, here we go, key cutter. This is what I was thinking. You're talking about keys at first, but then it like clicked. It was like, oh, keycaps. I kind of was thinking of something recently. It's been an idea. Oh, distracted. Oh, I had a baby, guys. I just got congratulations on my baby. I didn't even know I had a baby. Congratulations to me. Yeah. It's an inside joke. So what happened was yesterday, I decided, if no one knows, I'm lactose intolerant. And it's December. So what's the favorite drink of everyone's in December? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna drink a carton of eggnog. So yesterday was crazy. And then my smart ass decided, hey, why don't I start buying some oats and flax seeds and stuff like that, so my fiber was increased. And then I'm also drinking dairy, like straight from the carton. So yeah, yesterday was an experience. Don't increase your fiber intake. Well, increase your fiber intake if you're lactose intolerant. So it was like midnight and I was struggling. I was struggling at midnight. And one of my friends actually has a baby. So they were talking about the whole bicycle kicks. Because in order to help a baby poop, you have to like do bicycle kicks with them and everything like that if they're having problems, and that'll help. And so one of my friends, we have like a group chat. And so I was like, hey, I need you to wiggle my feet. I'm stuck on the toilet at midnight. The baby was the kid that I dropped off at the pool at midnight. I dropped the kids off at the pool last night. And I informed the group chat of this experience, and now they're congratulating me on the baby. Which honestly, I did not learn a lesson at all, because before stream, I literally was down in the carton again. This carton, I literally got it 2 days ago, and it's only like 1/4 left. I'm going through it. Eggnog only lasts like 3 or 4 days in this household. I'm gonna finish that carton. I also bought milk because I was gonna make oatmeal or overnight oats. Yeah, definitely not for me. I'm not about that life. Ultra pasteurized milk. Honestly, if you're looking for good eggnog, I know that you probably wouldn't have it, guys, because you're in a different like part of the world. But for us in the US, there's this brand called Southern Comfort, and it's a black carton, and it is like god tier eggnog. Every year when they have that, I grab the carton every time I go to the store, and I chug through it, and I suffer all throughout December. That is just the way of life. Lactose intolerance is not going to stop me from enjoying what I love. I'm a fighter. And honestly, if you're gonna live a life like mine on the edge or on the golden throne, invest in a bidet. Your ass will never burn again. And if it does, spray it. Easy win. I love my bidet. Just food for thought. Invest in a bidet. Hell yeah. How's it going, me mug? It was honestly after the reason why I really wanted to get a bidet was because of the toilet paper scare of 2019. Everyone remembers that. It went down in history as the biggest scare of the year, where everyone and their mother was buying up all the toilet paper. And you couldn't find toilet paper anywhere. And people are wiping their asses with leaves and buying bidets and fighting and killing each other over toilet paper. And I was like, I'm gonna break free from the mold. I'm not gonna be like y'all. So as soon as I got my own place, that was the first investment that I got. 10 out of 10 recommend. And if you're gonna get a bidet, don't cheap out on it. Like, trust me when I say get yourself that Gucci bidet, you know, the one that has the seat heater, the fan, the water temps, the everything. Because one, your body, you're gonna thank yourself for it that you got the expensive one. Two, they last really long. And three, it's just worth the money, honestly. Like, when you got that heater on, mine has like a built-in nightlight. It has a heater, so that I put my seat on like extra hot, so it's nice and toasty. So those midnight shits are toasty. It has a built-in deodorizer. It's just godsend. Highly recommend. Don't cheap out on them, because I hear that if you get the cheap ones, they break easily. They don't last as long. You're suffering because you're getting sprayed with like cold ass water. Yeah, you got to keep those buns toasty. Highly recommend. Don't cheap out on a bidet, guys. You won't regret it. There is. Mine doesn't have, I don't have the one with the hose or like a side attachment hose. Mine is like built in to the actual seat and everything like that comes out whenever you press the button. And it also has like a back and forth mode too, where you can really get in those crevices, you know? It's not just a single spray forward, but you can also make it spray back and forth. It's like a whole ass car wash for your butt. I'm not gonna lie. You want that. You want the car wash experience. And then you just get that air dry. My only issue is that air dryer gets hot pretty fast. Like it just be blowing hot air. I feel like my ass is on fire. But it dries. It does the job. Got a like nice little remote too. Control everything with the remote. Self-cleaning. Still recommend cleaning it every now and then, but it does have a self-cleaning mode and everything like that too, which is nice. It's the BB 2000, I think. The Bio Bidet 2000. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. It's one of my proudest investments next to my 3D printer that's in the other bathroom. which is also I may have an answer. I'm pretty transparent. Like a glass house. The it's available on Amazon. It's called Anatomy for Sculptors. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it like in your bookstores and stuff like that too. You can also find it randomly online or from other people, because you can find it like a PDF file. Like if you're really scrunching for money and stuff like that, but you really want to learn, you can find it with a good Google search, the PDF and stuff like that too. It is like everywhere. It's a highly recommended book. You have another one that's for like 2D, but honestly, a lot of the things that you can learn in 2D translate really well to 3D. I think the only things that don't really translate as well, in my opinion, I could be wrong, is perspective, because you can get away with a lot more when it comes to perspective in 3D compared to 2D. Because perspective is like a big thing when it comes to 2D art. But other than that, everything translates really, really well. I wouldn't say you don't have to learn any perspective when doing 3D, but it's not as important. That makes sense. But when it comes to stuff like anatomy and everything like that, anatomy is the same across the board. A lot of the shapes that they show you in the book for sculptors is the same shapes that you'll use whenever you're doing anything 2D related to. But they do have a book that's for like 2D artists too. When I went to when I first was getting into art, I didn't think I would be a sculptor. I thought I would be doing like 2D art, because I was going to like art school for game art and design. So I thought I was just gonna be, I didn't even know that 3D sculpting was kind of a thing until I started going to art school. And before I got there, I was doing like tutorials and stuff on 2D art. And one of the ones that I followed and really liked was like what's his name? I think I know his name, but I have to make sure I actually say it. I think it's, because I know his last name was like Burnett. But I want to make sure that I That's it. I followed him on YouTube. I gotta go to YouTube. We go to YouTube. Let's see. What are some 2D artists that I follow that I like? No, that's 30. Maybe it's my other YouTube. I could feel my life flashing before my eyes. But I got an hour. I'll make it. YouTube. Let's see. This YouTube. So I have like two YouTubes. I have a gaming YouTube and I also have a 3D YouTube. And I tend to get them mixed up sometimes when I'm following stuff and subscribing to stuff. So I end up like having a mixture of follows and stuff. Why is it not? Now I know I'm tripping. No one just gets hereditary. What's this? Oh, that's the 30 artist. That's another 30 artist. Brand Sculpts. This is a really good one. I like his stuff. Polygon, 30 artist. It'll come to me. I like Royal Skies stuff too, if you're looking into getting into like games and stuff like that. Oh, maybe I have to click on the button that says all subscriptions. Maybe that ought to do a thing. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Silly me. YouTube's really gotta make it easier to navigate. Nick Altius 3D, great guy. I hear great things about him. Highly recommend following him on the YouTubes. It's pretty chill. Talks about shitting himself on a daily basis though. It's weird. Royal Skies. I haven't sent anything yet. I was like scrolling through my subscriptions on YouTube trying to find the 2D artists that I follow, but my list is so fucking long that I think I might be like over scrolling them and not realizing it. I actually be streaming more this week too, because I take off. My off days will start in 4 days from now. I'll be taking off from the 20th till the 2nd of next month from my normal job. So I'll be streaming art more during those time periods for a little bit longer than usual. So you'll definitely see me on longer than the 3 hours that I'm on in the morning. Probably see me on for 6 hours. Oh, Mikey Mega. I like his 2D art. He's a 2D artist. Good stuff. He streams. There's someone else too. It wasn't the one that I was originally looking for, but he definitely is a 2D artist. His stuff is more adult oriented though. If you're looking for like the thick 3D art and stuff, not 3D but 2D artists and stuff like that, that's a lot of his stuff. YouTube doesn't unsubscribe you from people, does it? When you haven't watched their stuff in a while? Because, or he might have got rid of his YouTube, but I don't see him doing that. It seemed like he used YouTube to bring people into his courses and stuff like that too. So this is a guy that works in the industry. He worked for like Blizzard and stuff as an artist, unless he renamed his channel. That could have happened. He could have did a rebrand, but it's like if he rebranded, what did he rebrand to? Huh. I don't know. When I find it, I'll let, oh, Mark Burnett. Brunette. There we go. It popped up. There it is. He's a digital artist. He does some really here we go. I'll just post a link in chat. He was the stuff that I was watching when I was first getting into drawing and everything like that, before I found out about 3D and I started leaning more towards 3D. A lot of his stuff is digital art and like Photoshop and stuff like that. I'd recommend his stuff. He's also another course that I ended up getting, but I didn't really go through it as hard as I did with 3D stuff, because I fell in love more with 3D. So I originally was like, do 2D character concept art or whatever like that, and then I started going through school, and then I was like, oh, I want to be an environment artist. So I was doing modeling and stuff like that, and Maya and 3ds Max. We had a teacher that really loved Maya, and he had a teacher that really loved 3ds Max, and the Maya one was very anti 3ds Max. So I switched to Maya in his class, so that way wouldn't have to listen to his rants about why Maya is better for everything than 3ds Max. And I did most of my modeling in that. And I saw it as like one of those things where if you work for a studio and stuff like that, and that studio wants you to use a certain software or like that, you should just use that software instead of, you know, being a stick in the mud and not wanting to transfer over to the other one. So it's about being flexible. So I was flexible and I learned Maya for his class, and I used 3ds Max for the other classes, and my ZBrush class obviously used ZBrush. But the ZBrush class wasn't really much of a ZBrush class, I'm gonna be honest. It was more of here's a login to my website, have these things done before the end of the year and I'll grade it, sort of, because he had like video tutorials on everything. So like a good, I would say about 70, maybe 80% of things that I learned from learned in ZBrush was on my own, watching videos. And there's another really cool teacher that works in ZBrush, and if I had any questions I'll ask him too. He has like a Discord for past and present students that I'm a part of, and whenever people have like questions and stuff, he'll answer them. Past students or anyone that might know will answer them. I answer some stuff whenever people get stuck. So I know he's busy, he's got a kid and everything like that now, so whenever there's a question that pops up in his Discord that I can answer when it's like ZBrush related, I usually try to help out and answer. He pops into my streams every now and then. He's a cool dude. We shared same birthday. Our birthday's on the same day. Did I delete the... There we go. Yeah. Honestly, in my opinion, and I think a lot of other 3D artists will probably, a lot of artists will say this in general, that a lot of times I feel like art school is definitely a waste of money. Like, it's not really worth going to art school if you're trying to get into art and stuff like that. I think the only thing that's really good about art school is you meet other artists and you can network and stuff like that. But other than that, a lot of the things you're gonna end up learning on your own, figuring out on your own anyway, because you're not gonna walk into art school without knowing any art and then walk out like some god tier artist, whatever like that. Everything that they're gonna teach you in the school, you're gonna learn. You can learn on your own. That's available online too. So you don't need to shell out hundreds of thousands of dollars on going to art school. And that's from someone that went to art school though, so I can guarantee you that a lot of the things that I learned in ZBrush that I'm doing today, I didn't really learn in art school. I learned from watching YouTube videos and asking other artists questions and stuff like that. Yeah, it's structured practice, but even then it can become a little questionable. It's good, like, honestly, I would recommend probably getting mentors. Like, if you really want to shell out money on learn how to do something, maybe look into mentorships so you can get more of a one-on-one experience and be able to ask questions and stuff like that. But even then, it's like, you know, that's up to you. Yeah. But I know everyone has their own kind of like thoughts and experiences when it comes to art school. My thoughts and experiences was the art school that I went to had a lot of issues to the point where, like, with federal funding and all this other stuff, legalities and everything like that, so they ended up getting shut down. They shut down like their branch in certain states, so people moved to the state that I'm in, Texas, and they moved to Austin to that branch. But it turned out that the credits wouldn't transfer over from the other branches to that one, which is weird because they're the same school. But so people lost credits, and then if you wanted to transfer from that school to an actual like college, another college, then you were also losing credits that way. So it was more money dive. It was basically a nightmare for a lot of people. And I don't even know if the art school is even still available anymore. So I went to the Art Institute. I don't even know if the Art Institute's still alive. It had like so much problems. Yeah. Credentials and usage of money and a bunch of other stuff. So my experience at art school wasn't really the grandest, because you're worried about, will our school be on the list next of being shut down? Where would I go to next? Oh no, my credits don't transfer over, so I'm gonna have to shell out more money. And then COVID hit. So we missed out on one of the biggest opportunities that I kind of was hoping for, because they had a booth at PAX South here. And so the last like 4 years or something like that, well, not 4 years, the last like year before graduation, you had to basically work as a team. You would have been in the same group for each semester. The same people will follow you in this class, and you basically were like a team where you had to make a game. So you had to go through a whole pipeline, and the teacher was basically like the AAA funding company, whatever, you know, I forget the name, it's been a while, but they're the ones funding your project and making sure you were staying on track and everything like that. And the students were like the studio in a way, you know? So we had to make a game within the period of time and do stand-ups and all the other stuff and present the progress that we have on the game to the teacher and everything like that. And then once your game is like completed, then it'll have been on a booth in PAX for other people to see and play and everything like that. We never got to the booth experience because COVID hit and PAX South got shut down indefinitely. I was really looking forward to being a part of PAX and showcasing our game. Because we made a game. I could probably say I made a game. Is it like the greatest game of all time? No. But I did it, you know? That's all that matters. We made a platformer. And that's the game that got me into sculpting more. That sucks. For your friend in San Francisco. There we go. So I probably wouldn't recommend, unless you like absolutely want to, I probably wouldn't recommend going to art school. Unless you have the money to throw it like that, then all means, go for it. But a lot of stuff is going to be based on your portfolio more than anything. So if you do go to art school, make sure you're working on your portfolio. Don't just have a bunch of your school projects in your portfolio. Actually have stuff that you're doing on the side. That'll make you stand out a little bit more. We had a portfolio review class thing too, where they like would tell us how to make our portfolio and stuff. And then they'll go over our portfolio and be like, yo, get rid of this, do more of this, stuff like that. Ad break. Community college. I went to a community college. I was all over the place when it came to schooling. I was one of those, I don't know what I want to do when I grew up kind of people, kind of guys. So I originally went to school for computer science and pre-med, and then I dropped out, joined the Air Force for 6 years, and then finished that, and then went to art school. That's my timeline. Yeah, build a portfolio. Even if you don't go to, if you're trying to get into the industry, work on your portfolio. Don't have a bunch of tutorial pieces in your portfolio. Actually have stuff that you made on your own. If you do a tutorial piece, don't follow the tutorial and make it one for one, but make your own thing. Like, you know, everyone knows like the infamous donut tutorial on whatchamacallit? The Blender donut tutorial on YouTube. Instead of making a donut, make something else while using that tutorial. Because a lot of people will look at a lot of the tutorial stuff, a lot of artists already know about the tutorials. A lot of the hiring people also know about all the tutorials and stuff like that. So if they look at your portfolio and see something that was like in a tutorial, they're gonna know it was from a tutorial. Because we all seen them. We've all done them. And all that shows is you know how to follow a tutorial, but do you actually know how to do the thing, you know? Ooh, a permanent student. I've known some people like that. I don't see how they do it. They just permanently go to school and they live off of like grants and stuff like that. It's actually impressive. A professional student. I hear a mix when it comes to that, because there's some people out there that will be like, oh, you can't get it, become a professional artist by making fan art. But then there's people that literally hire because you made fan art. Because there's a studio, the studio that did Castlevania and stuff like that. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was like Powerhouse or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But they came out to one of the conventions that we were at, and they were doing like Q&A and stuff like that. And one of the people asked them a question about having original work or having fan art in their portfolios. And their answer was they love it when people have fan art, especially if it's fan art of the show that they're working on. Because one of the people that was there actually got the job because they had a bunch of fan art, Castlevania fan art, and everyone at the studio loved that. So they ended up getting hired because of that, you know? And the funny thing is, the fan art wasn't like safe for work fan art. It was NSFW fan art. So that like went even wilder on that one, but it shows that you could be a not safe work art. There's a lot of not safe work artists that ended up getting jobs at studios because of their work. Shows that you're really good at anatomy, you know? You're not hiding it behind clothes, that's for sure. I think it just shows that you're really good at anatomy. When you're an NSFW artist, because you gotta really understand anatomy to be a NSFW artist. You gotta really get into those nooks and crannies of the human body and put a lot of detail into it. You don't just get the luxury of like tossing clothes on it and then calling it done. You actually gotta know how the body bends and stuff. I would be too, personally. But to be honest, whenever I feel like whenever you put your portfolios out there anyway, a lot of companies I feel like will end up looking up your actual stuff anyway, especially if you use the same name across the board or whatever. They're gonna see your other work. Like they're gonna see your portfolio and be like, oh wow, I really like their stuff. I wonder what else they make that's not on their portfolio. And then they'll end up like looking you up, and then they find your Twitter account or your DeviantArt account, and then they start seeing all the degenerate stuff that you made. They're like, oh, this person really understands anatomy. So I feel like that's how a lot of them, it's that, or they see your stuff on socials and they reach out to you that way. I've heard that a lot of people have gotten jobs and stuff like that from stuff like that too, where they didn't even apply really. They were just doing art and posted it online, and then they got someone reached out to them, was like, yo, you should apply, we like your stuff, sort of deal, you know? Oh, nice. See, stuff like that happens. I feel like that's probably what happened to the people that are doing the Final Fantasy IX remake. So it's possible to be a fan artist, making fan art and stuff like that, and getting your dream job. So I always heard like one of the biggest things of landing your dream job sometimes is to make art that's kind of like in the style of the company that you want to work for, so they can kind of see that you understand their art style and everything like that too. I feel like a lot of people that work as artists for like Riot and stuff like that were doing a lot of fan art towards that gamer company, and they ended up getting the jobs that way. But I could be wrong. It's just my thoughts on the matter, and from what I hear from other people and other professionals and stuff like that, because some will argue to not have anything fan art related, while others will love to see your fan art related stuff. So it's a mixed bag of yes and no's. The Castlevania fan art one was just an example of one that worked in their favor. I'm happy for him too, you know, landing that dream job. They reached the end game. Yeah, that is true. Just make games. At that point, I'd be conflicted personally, because let's say that I wanted to get into the game industry, like I still wanted to get into the game industry, and then I was applying for a lot of game jobs and stuff like that in my portfolio and everything, and I kept getting rejections and stuff. So I went off and made my own game, and then that game like completely blew up, and now I'm making, like, you know, I'm pretty much a studio, one-man studio at this point or whatever, where I could probably start my own studio, like the people that, like the guy that did Stardew Valley and stuff like that. It's like, would I want to work for another, would I want to apply for a job, or do I want to just keep doing what I'm doing, you know, being a solo dev, an indie dev? I'd be conflicted, but I think at the end of the day, I'd probably just end up continuing being a solo dev. I'm not gonna lie. Like even now, as an artist, I've applied for in the past, I've applied for jobs for like toy companies and stuff like that, like Funko and stuff like that, you know. I've applied to places like that because I'm like, man, I really want to make 3D printable toys and stuff. But if I was to end up doing my own thing and making a living off of doing my own thing, I probably wouldn't want to work for them anymore, you know? Because, like, do I want the 9-to-5 life again, or do I want to continue working indie, you know? Yeah, that's how I feel. Would probably happen. I just end up going like indie and just keep doing my own thing, especially if I blew up. You had the taste of freedom, you know? It's hard to go back to the 9-to-5 when you've tasted freedom. Yeah, it happens across all types of industries and stuff like that too. I'd agree. 100. Old PayPal. Twitter was the same way, but they went off. They sold Twitter and then they created Blue Sky. So there's that. Like they created Twitter, sold it to Elon, and then created Blue Sky. Let me see something. I use Twitter still. I have a Blue Sky, but I just post the same things that I post on Twitter on Blue Sky and vice versa. Yeah. Because I feel like moving from one platform to another is kind of crazy whenever you're trying to do a business of some sort, you know? Instead of trying to feign loyalty, I was gonna say loyalty to a single platform. If you're trying to grow as a business, you need to like just use multiple platforms. And just you don't have to make them all unique. Like if you post something on Twitter, copy and paste it and post it on Blue Sky. They have like websites where you can cross upload things to multiple websites and stuff like that. That's why even now I whenever I post a short on TikTok, I also post it on YouTube too. And when I stream on Twitch, I'm also streaming on YouTube too. There are some platforms I don't stream to, of course, but just because I don't really feel like streaming to it. I tried streaming to Kick, but that was an experience. Definitely have to keep the moderation on that one going. And I did not want that headache, so that was the only reason why I'm not streaming on Kick too. I would stream on Twitter if I could figure out how to do it. How to multi-stream to Twitter. I'd do it. I'm always on Twitter, I feel like. There are a lot of amazing 3D artists on Twitter that I follow, that I go through. Let me go the front. Where's the front? This is the front. Here, that one. Kind of want to see something. So I was thinking of maybe having like all black hair, but I'm kind of thinking I might do the mixture of the two, black and white. It's not ringing any bells. Oh, restream.io. There we go. I don't use Restream anymore. I use there's a plugin for OBS that allows you to multi-stream. So I use that plugin. And so the only thing that I don't like about it but it was an easy fix. Was you have to start your main stream before you can start the other ones, but you can start the stream and then turn it off immediately and then start the other ones. So that's what I do from like my gaming channel, because my OBS is set up for my art channel. So whenever I go live, it'll automatically go live on my art channel. But if I turn off the stream, I can turn on my gaming channels without streaming to my art channels, which is really nice. That's kind of what I do. I think I kind of like it like that. Maybe I'll do more. I like that. But yeah, it was called Restream.io. Now I just use multiple output plugin for OBS. Yeah, I feel like I can only stream through Twitter on Restream though. I couldn't. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the thing to stream through Twitter on here, but I'll figure it out eventually. When I do, I'll let y'all know. I won't keep it secret. But honestly, I feel like just YouTube and Twitch is plenty right now, especially YouTube, because your stuff, when you in stream, it becomes part of like the algorithm, and so you continue to get seen even when you're not live, compared to Twitch where you are only seen when you're live. Moist Critical recently released a video talking about multi-streaming that came out like 2 or 3 days ago, and honestly, I agree with what he said. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do once TikTok gets shut down. Well, it's, if you're in the US and you have TikTok installed still, you'll be fine. And I also think that the only people that are really fucked, like the only people that are actually affected by the TikTok ban more than anyone else, are Apple users. Because an Android user, they could just look up the APK, which is the file type that we use to install software, stuff like that on our computer, but on our phone. And TikTok's still gonna be a thing outside of the US and everything like that. So if you really wanted to use TikTok and you really wanted to keep it up to date, I'm pretty sure there'd be a way to find the APK files and download and install those whenever you want to update and update your stuff. Because I have apps on my phone that are not available in the App Store, but that's mostly to like read manga, you know? And whenever it updates, it just downloads an APK file. And you can't do that with Apple products. So if you like absolutely wanted to keep using TikTok, there you have it, you know? Because we got until January 19th. But they also stated that they're going to be transferring a lot of their stuff over to an app called Lemon 8. And it will have the same makeup and look of TikTok, but be within regulations for the US. The problem is whenever you have a new platform like that, it's going to be hard to rebuild and try to sell a new platform, because not many people actually pay attention to update and news and stuff like that. They just say, oh, it's the end of the world, and then they call it a day, you know? And that was my TED Talk. Thanks for listening. I still have YouTube Shorts. I post my stuff on both YouTube and TikTok, so I'm kind of safe. I think for my gaming channel, I've been really enjoying Marvel Rivals, so I might end up making content for that on my gaming channel. I'm the type of content creator that likes to take things from my stream and turn that into content. So I really can't do it any other way, I'm gonna be honest. So I do make sure that I record locally too, so that way I can edit everything. Like even with this sculpt, this is recorded, so that way I can go back and edit it up. Separate the channels? No. I just hit the record button on OBS. When I hit go live, I set it to automatically record, and it will save the file on a random spot. But I don't, for my art streams, I don't take the audio. I don't need the audio for my art streams. I just need the video. And I turn those into like speed sculpt videos. And then I toss some lo-fi music on top of that. That's like how people make whatchamacallit videos anyway. Art videos anyway. And if I want to do a tutorial, I can either be like, oh hey guys, I'm gonna show y'all how to make sculpt the head in Zbrush or whatever, and then I'll do it and walk through the process of it, and then I'll just clip that and then turn that into a video. Or I will take a clip of me already doing that and then I'll do a voiceover. But other than that, I don't need the I don't necessarily need the audio from my live streams when it comes to the art stuff. Like this, what I'm working on is gonna turn into a speed sculpt. I'm gonna take all the files, compress, like increase the speed of it, compress it, whatever, and remove the edit out the parts that I don't want, like me sitting here going on long tangents and nothing being done. I can cut that out in post. So I get around the copywriting way, because I do be playing music. And I do be talking about some weird shit. Like earlier, I was talking about I had a kid. So stuff like that, you know? I can cut that out in post. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. You can kind of see it with my other videos that I be posting. How's it going, Victor? And thanks. Yeah, I find ZBrush a lot of fun. At first, I found it extremely intimidating. This is I'm talking on the YouTube side. But at first, I found it extremely intimidating. But as I learned the UI and everything like that, I found fun and enjoyment in it. Nice. I like the Blender. I don't really find anything wrong with Blender. I recommend it as a great free alternative. If you want to get into sculpting and stuff like that, you don't want to shell out the money. Facts. Hard surfaces in Zbrush is hard. Hard surfaces is hard in Zbrush. It's doable, but even I know a lot of artists who just take it straight to Blender and then make the hard surface stuff there. I'm pretty much like dedicated to trying to do as much hard surface in ZBrush as possible. It's definitely there's a trick to it, but once you figure it out, it seems like it'll be extremely easy. It's a lot of extra steps compared to what you could do in Blender, but it's possible to do hard surfaces. A lot of it's Z modeler and remeshing and extraction and stuff like that. Fiber mesh. I don't think I ever used never really used fiber mesh. As you can see, we make it in here right now. What am I doing? There we go. I've only made hair in 2 methods. The one that I'm doing now and sculpting it out, like actually throwing on a sphere and just like sculpting using clay buildup and stuff like that. The one that I do now is kind of a mixture of both in a way. So what I do is I'll lay out this and then I'll subdivide it and then I'll go in and add like the creases and lines and stuff like that. I don't just leave it like this. I do go in and throw in some strokes from here and there. There are like so many cool things that the Gizmo does that I kind of like learned from seeing other people use it. Like my biggest issue was whenever you mesh, Dynamesh, like I need to fix the arm. That's what I remembered. I was like laying there last night and I was thinking to myself, arm doesn't look right. It's because it's not right because I don't have it bent properly. But I figured out I need to apply it. But whenever I want to like combine a mesh or whatever like that, you know, like fingers or toes, sometimes it'll end up getting like stuck together. But then I learned about the remesh by union, and that allowed me to remesh them and then ZBrush it without the fingers and stuff like that sticking together. And that like helped me keep things separated. And that was hidden inside of the Gizmo tool. Yeah, there's also the polygroup method too. It's like so many ways to do one thing that there's no right or wrong way of doing something, because there's like so many methods that people do to make stuff. As long as it does what you need to do, that's all that matters, you know? Doesn't matter how you got there. Was it a more difficult way? Sure, but you got there, you know? And that's all that matters. All right, appreciate the follow. Good luck on your work. Good luck out there. I think I want to. There we go. That'd be fine. I kind of want to. Let me see something. Let me test something out here real quick. I kind of want to look a certain way. I'm just gonna. I didn't do shit. It did shit. It always does that. Let me. Which one is it? I kind of want it to. Not be pointed at the ends on this one, but just be flat like that. Yeah. Kind of like that look, you know. And the other ones would be pointed. I just wanted the kind of want to do it with this too, but I could run. There we go. Are those? Oh, no. Oh. Okay. It's like, are they the same poly group? Well, why is it moving everything? It shouldn't even move everything because I'm using a different move brush. But I figured it out. It's because I just have the brush set to huge. I think instead of cutting, it's fine. There we go. I'm debating if I want to do the same on this side too, or if I want to keep this one sharp. I think I'll just keep it sharp, and we'll play around with the idea. More. Kind of like it a little bit more like that. We'll see. Things are subject to change. When it comes to coloring. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna fix up the arm, but not right now. I'll have to do that later because I need to get going, get ready for, well, I need to go take a shit for one, because when I said an hour ago that I felt my life flashing before my eyes, that was the eggnog coming. And I was like, I'll make it another hour. And it has been an hour. And I don't think I'll make it anymore. So I need to go do that before I get ready for work. And then after I take my shit, I'm gonna make me something to eat and drink some more eggnog. Cause you know, I haven't learned my lesson. But yeah, I need to fix up the arm too, so I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow. Is we'll work on the arm more and fixing that up, because mostly just I haven't done anything with the torso portion yet. Mostly only worked on like the legs and the skirt and the hair, but where the what? Oh, there we go. I was like, what just happened? Control Z. Okay. There's still a lot of things that I want to do and fix up. It's nowhere near done. So I do need to work on the torso portion, fix up the arms, and then combine the body together. Because right now the arms are kind of just there. I need to turn this arm more inwards. So right now it's too far out. I was reading the reference a little too wrong on that one. That's why it looks weird from this angle. And it's not even just because of the sleeve, it's because it actually is weird. Maybe it is because, no, I think it is because the arm is just weird. I need to angle this back some. And more inwards. And then those should be fine from there. That's why I kind of keep things separate until I like solidify the spot. but I'm like, all right, this is the pose that I want 100%. Then I usually start combining the pieces together. Right now everything's kind of separate, so that way if I start realizing something's off, I can still kind of fix it. And in this case, I do notice something's off, and I've been trying to think to myself, what is off, you know? And I figured it out. Yeah, I figured it out. So I'll fix that, and then I'll be able to actually start working on the body a little bit more. I just kind of skipped from the body to like the clothing and the hair and stuff like that, because Twitch can be a little weird when it comes to anatomy sculpting, but I should be fine with not. I have like the body, certain parts of the body like clothed now, so I can actually start working on some of it now. So if I was to work on the arm and stuff like that, I'll be like zoomed in like this, and this portion of the body wouldn't be covered, and then I'd get a Twitch warning or something like that, or get banned. So now that I actually have like clothing over spaces, I can actually go in and fix stuff and zoom in, not worrying about TOS and getting hit. So everything that I had to get hit for is covered now. So I end up like fixing the body a little bit more and combining the body, because right now it's like separated. So I do need to combine the legs with the torso, and then the arms with the torso and stuff like that, and then go from there. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that'll be the game plan. But that's where we're at for now. I'll be back tomorrow, same time. I'm gonna go cry on the toilet because I made decisions. But I appreciate everyone that came out today. I really do hope that y'all have a wonderful day. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Streams wouldn't be anything without everyone that stopped by and saying hello, what's up, and all that stuff. Keeps me going, keeps the juices flowing. It's always nice conversating. That is crazy that that's not a permitted term on Twitch. That is a crazy block. Oh, probably because it gets it as you're calling me a baby. I'm glad you found it too. And definitely give Gaz a follow too, especially if you're getting into 3D and stuff like that. Gaz is a really good 3D artist. I think you will like a lot of the stuff that he makes. I'm gonna send us on over to another 3D artist. He just started. He doesn't stream as much. Yeah, he just started a minute ago. Will he let me raid? Let's see. Hair Force 1, another great anatomy sculptor. Definitely recommend watching him too, because his anatomy is top level, especially when it comes to like feet. If you're trying to get that foot sculpted perfectly, he is the guy. He is the one. But we'll head on over there. I appreciate when they came out today. I'm Nyx, and I'll be signing out. Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all again tomorrow, same time, 10 a.m. CST till about 1 p.m. CST. On the 20th, this Friday onwards to the 2nd, I'll be streaming longer, Monday through Friday until the 2nd, and we'll see where it goes from there. But y'all have a good one. Y'all have a good one. Get on out of here. I was gonna click on the wrong thing. There we go. My ending. I need to make a new ending stream title thingy and go from there. But that's besides the point. I'm gonna go have another baby. Y'all have a good day.